The life of Liam Neeson unfolds like a film that refuses to follow a simple script. It is layered, emotional, and deeply human, filled with moments of extraordinary love and unimaginable loss. For audiences, he has long been a symbol of strength, a man who confronts danger without hesitation, who protects, who endures. But beyond the screen, his reality has been far more fragile. There is a quiet gravity in his presence now, something shaped not by fame, but by grief that time could soften, yet never erase. When the world celebrates his legacy, it often overlooks the silence he returns to, the kind that echoes with memories of a life once shared with Natasha Richardson. Their love story remains one of the most poignant in Hollywood history. It began in the early 1990s, during their collaboration on Anna Christie, where something unspoken yet undeniable grew between them. Richardson's warmth and vibrancy balanced Neeson's reserved intensity, creating a bond that felt both natural and rare. Even in those early days, people around them sensed that this was not fleeting. It was something deeper, something that would shape both of their lives. By 1994, they were married, beginning a chapter that seemed destined for happiness. Their union was not defined by glamour, but by authenticity. It was in the quiet gestures, the shared laughter, the understanding glances that their love truly lived. Their wedding remains a cherished memory not only for them, but for those who witnessed it. Surrounded by close friends, including Steven Spielberg and Emma Thompson, the ceremony reflected their personalities, intimate, heartfelt, and sincere. When Richardson sang Crazy Love by Van Morrison, it was more than a performance. It was a declaration, a moment that captured everything they felt but could not fully express in words. For Neeson, it became a memory frozen in time, one he would carry with him long after everything else had changed. As the years passed, their life together blossomed into something even more meaningful with the arrival of their sons. Parenthood brought a new dimension to their love, grounding them in a shared purpose. While Neeson's career reached new heights, through films like Schindler's List, Star Wars, The Phantom Menace, and Batman Begins, Richardson made a conscious choice to prioritize family. She stepped away from the relentless pace of Hollywood, focusing instead on creating a home filled with warmth and stability. It was a decision that spoke volumes about her character. She understood that success was not measured solely by accolades, but by the moments that truly mattered, the ones spent with the people you love. For a time, it seemed as though they had found the perfect balance. There was laughter in their home, a rhythm to their lives that felt secure and enduring. But in 2009, everything changed in a way no one could have anticipated. What began as a simple skiing lesson in Canada turned into a tragedy that would alter Neeson's life forever. Richardson's fall, initially dismissed as minor, revealed its true severity only hours later. By the time the reality became clear, it was too late. The diagnosis, an epidural hematoma, was devastating, and within days, she was gone. The loss was sudden, disorienting, and absolute. For Neeson, it was not just the death of his wife, but the loss of a future they had built together. In the hospital, faced with an impossible decision, he honored a promise they had once made, to let go if there was no hope. It was an act of love in its most painful form. Walking away from that moment, he carried not only grief, but the weight of that choice, a quiet burden that would stay with him for years. In the aftermath, life became something to endure rather than embrace. Neeson threw himself into his work, taking on roles that demanded physical and emotional intensity. Films like Taken introduced a new phase of his career, transforming him into an unlikely action star. To the world, it seemed like a resurgence. But beneath the surface, it was also a form of escape, a way to keep moving, to avoid the stillness where grief waited. He later admitted that he struggled to confront his emotions, often pushing them aside in order to function. There were darker moments too, times when the pain felt overwhelming. He spoke openly about turning to alcohol as a way to cope, a temporary refuge from the constant ache of loss. But even in that, there was a turning point. In 2013, he made the decision to stop drinking, recognizing the path it could lead him down. It was not a public declaration, but a personal commitment, one rooted in his desire to be present for his sons and to face life with clarity. That choice marked a quiet shift, a step toward healing, even if the wounds remained. As the years moved forward, grief evolved. It did not disappear, but it changed shape. The sharpness dulled, replaced by a softer, more reflective sadness. Richardson's presence remained in the small things, in memories, in traditions, in the lives of their sons. Michael and Daniel became living reminders of the love their parents had shared. Michael's decision to adopt his mother's surname was particularly meaningful, a tribute that ensured her legacy would continue in a visible and enduring way. For Neeson, fatherhood became both a responsibility and a source of strength. Raising his sons without their mother was a challenge he faced with quiet determination. He guided them, supported them, and in doing so, found a sense of purpose that helped him move forward. Yet even as he fulfilled that role, there was always a part of him that remained connected to the past, a part that never fully let go. Now, decades later, there are signs of something new emerging. His connection with Pamela Anderson has introduced a different kind of narrative, one not defined by loss, but by the possibility of renewal. Their relationship, subtle and understated, reflects where Neeson is in his life. There are no grand declarations, no need for spectacle. Instead, there is a sense of ease, of companionship that grows quietly. For someone who has experienced such profound heartbreak, even the smallest steps toward connection carry immense significance. What makes this chapter particularly compelling is the way it has been received. There is no sense of betrayal, no shadow cast over the past. Instead, there is understanding. Those who knew Richardson, those who witnessed their love, have expressed support. They recognize that moving forward does not mean leaving the past behind. It means allowing life to expand, to include new experiences without diminishing what came before. Neeson himself seems to approach this possibility with caution, but also with openness. He has spoken in the past about stepping away from dating, about finding contentment in solitude and family. And yet, life has a way of shifting perspectives. Perhaps it is not about seeking love, but about allowing it to appear when it is least expected. In that sense, his journey reflects a deeper truth, that the heart does not operate on timelines or expectations. It heals in its own way, at its own pace. As he continues to work, taking on roles that challenge and inspire him, Neeson carries all of these experiences with him. They shape his performances, adding layers of authenticity that cannot be taught or replicated. When he portrays loss, resilience, or quiet strength, it is not just acting. It is something drawn from within. His career, in many ways, has become an extension of his life, a space where personal and professional intersect. Ultimately, the story of Liam Neeson is not one of tragedy alone. It is a story of endurance, of love that persists even in absence, and of the courage it takes to keep moving forward. It is about understanding that grief and hope can coexist, that the past can be honored while the future remains open. His journey reminds us that even after the deepest loss, life continues to offer moments of connection, of warmth, of possibility. And perhaps that is the most powerful part of his story, not the fame, not the accolades, but the quiet realization that love, once found, never truly disappears. It changes, it lingers, it becomes part of who we are. And sometimes, when we least expect it, it finds a way to return, not as a replacement, but as a continuation of everything that came before.